Good morning. Good morning, Janice. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Do you all know what day this is, y'all? This is the day we celebrate our independence from British rule. If Frank shows up, you be kind to him now. He seems to be taking it a bit personal. But I told him that in today's environment, we might actually march back across the big pond. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. So, Barb, good morning. Good morning. So, we don't really have anything planned today. I know that it's a holiday weekend and, you know, people are going to be off doing holiday things. So I thought I'd just do a little holiday digitizing and, sit here and answer some questions. Mashid, oh, so good to see you. So good to see you. So yeah, that's kind of all I had planned. Of course, now I've lost there it is. Lost my pen, my Wacom drawing pen, and, got my coffee here. So tell me, what does everybody have planned for today? And I'm going to pop up the graphic that I'm working. And yes, I got started. Letty. Letty says, Frank, have a cup of tea and just sit back and enjoy the day. Relish in the fact of how good the World Cup is going. It is, isn't it? It's everything everybody can talk about. Speaking of the UK, Doug happens to be over there. Doug, you tell Frank that we still love him. So yeah, this I got started without you. I did. Sitting here waiting for the clock to strike 10. Actually, 11:59 is when I hit the start button. So I got started without you, and now I'm just going to keep going, and I'll watch for messages up here. Basically, what I'm doing at this point is I'm doing all of my outline work, and I do that because I like to build I like to have my borders set so that when I do my fills will actually sit under the border. So that's what I'm doing. Kid Barb is saying the kids and the grandkids are going to the parade. Crazy, the amount of people in town. I'm assembling some shelves later. Are you going to stay out of the thick of it, Barb? I could be like my customers say, oh no, I didn't want green. I wanted that in red. Oh, oh, oh. You get those kinds of things in writing, don't you? Don't you, Letty? Very strong advocate for getting things in right and get their signature. The one that says you have read this and you understand. Good morning. Good morning, Joanne. Good morning. Is it warm there? I tell you, it's been warm here, and the excess rain just does not help, does it? No, it doesn't. Barb says she's avoiding town like the plague with all the tourists. Yeah, I watch my 4th of July celebration on the TV these days. I used to travel and go downtown. I used to travel and go downtown and sit with the masses. But yeah, not so much anymore. I kind of like to. Barb's got 68. Barb's at 68. I mean, we're at 72 today, but it's promising to get to be more. 68 is nice. That should have been a run stitch because I'm traveling. And we go up here. We networked the ZSKs together. This is Letty. Letty is saying they networked their ZSKs together in network to the new terabyte drive. Today I'd like to catch up on some way overdue digitizing lessons. Yeah. And hopefully see how to hook up the DTF machine. Sounds like it sounds like this is a weekend planned and not just today. Machine's been watching the US games, the US game, and enjoying the barbecue to celebrate the 4th. That's nice. Joanne's saying it's 80. She's got 80. Okay, so it's less than 100, right? We should all be grateful for that. It's less than 100. But I think we should all become part of the tourist run that Barb is dealing with. And, go visit Barb at 68. Yay! We're going to go visit Barb at 68 degrees. Of course, here's the thing. It's going to get cold fast enough as it is. Mashid, you too. And listen, Letty, Mashid, both of you, if you need any help, I'm not going anywhere. I do want to work in my shop area. I've got some things in there I want to get done. And I've decided that I'm going to change this. I'm going to make this a run that goes up into here. I'm going to cut this, move part of it under. Yep. And then, all right, where am I? So we don't want to end there. We want to end here. And then we want to take this back down here. There, we got it. Janice has a couple of sewing projects, and then on to homework. Like I said, I just want to see your stitch out of your holiday project. So, for those of you who are not quite in the loop with this, I've been teaching some digitizing classes, and our first set had to do with your basic tools: running stitch, satin column, tatami fills, and we just finished our last class. And after every class, we have a review week. Do your homework, come in, ask questions, review. And this week is our review for the tatami, and I gave them some options of these coloring book pages that I found that are holiday related, and I've asked them just to digitize the holiday page. I want to see, using all of their lessons, their running stitches, their satin columns, their satin stitches, everything they've got, and to see what they put together. And keeping in mind that what I put together and the way I would work it is not necessarily the way they would work it, which is completely fine, because no two digitizers are going to do anything exactly the same. That makes sense? So you see, I like to have my outlines. Where are we going? Yep. Thanks, Letty. And we're going to change this from a 2 millimeter to a 1.5 one. I set up a new programmable keypad, and the keys are not in the same place as my other keypad. So I'm back to looking to see where everything is. I like having the programmable keypad because then I don't have to be sitting here, um, trying to hunch over my keyboard. Gina Butler, good morning. Good morning, Gina. So good to see you. And, I used to have that whole Saturday working thing. Um, Now this is my Saturday working thing. Evelyn. Evelyn's here too. Good morning. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. Doug's in Scotland. Doug, you gonna bring us all back souvenirs? Anybody have anything special they want Doug to pick up for them in Scotland? No fireworks here. No, because they don't celebrate the 4th the way we do. Evelyn says she's got the grass cut, even though it's the 4th of July. Feeling good, just gotta do the backyard now. Good job. Whiskey? Joanne's doing whiskey? Oh, wait, did I miss somebody? Who is this? All right, you're gonna have to spell that out phonically for me. I don't want to butcher it. Or can I just call you Mo? Hello. Hello. Joanne, explain whiskey. Oh, whiskey from Scotland. Doug, did you catch that? Joanne wants whiskey from Scotland. Gonna have to pick that up. Mo. Well, welcome, Mo. We are so glad to have you here today. I love whiskey. I was always just a rum girl myself. I did do brandy for a while. But, I don't know enough about um, the gold spirits. Well, do you, Mose? Pop in and say hi. Let me know if you have any questions. I try to look at that page every day to see how it's going. And, if you have a question, just pop it in the comment. And Scotch, well, of course, Doug, Scotch in Scotland. Just pop it in the comments and I will get back to you. Or you can, Maureen. Hello, Maureen. We're going to lower this a little bit. Wonderful. Okay, so Oh, I gotta do my balloons. Let's do some balloons. Like I said, I like to have my borders. And I like to build them in order. We should make this. Isn't scotch a whiskey? It's just a different way of making it. Like I said, I don't know my spirits well enough to speak to this. Now, if whiskey were an embroidery digitizing function, I'd have it. Yep, I would. Yeah, that way it identifies it a little bit better. And ta-da! And of course, ultimately, when all of this is said and done, I don't like what they did with the flag here. I know what their intention was, but when you put it on a staff like this, the blue field should be here. So that's why I haven't done anything with the flag. I'm going to change that. But going back to all of this that I've done in green will ultimately be black. Ta-da! You want to see me do a circle? Evelyn wants to know why I did the circles the way I did. Um, are you talking about the order in which I did the circles? Or are you talking about how I actually made a circle? Here, let me make this just a wee bit smaller. We'll group all that together. The order I put them in. All right, so if I were a kid and I was looking at my balloons, I would see that this one is not only higher, but it's behind this one, which is also behind this one. So I'm going to make my circles, my balloons, from the back forward so that it will look like this balloon is behind this balloon, which is behind this balloon. Does that help? Does that explain it? Just like here, let me go back here. Just like I drew up the balloon strings and I pathed them. Let me ungroup this. I pathed them so that I had my first 3 strings and then I had one go around the hand. Gina, you're so smart. Gina's a smart cookie. And then I traveled up behind the hand, where that hand border is, so that I could do 3 more strings to travel up around where the hat brim is to do my final strings. Of course, this last little string here has a jog behind the hat. So put that back, thank you. Unhide all. Change their color so that we can see them. That's a good idea, Gina. When we get that far. First thing I'm going to do is go back up here. I'm going to go ahead and work my balloons. Oh, I hate it when I do that. I have all these stars. First thing I'm going to do is measure my stars. Perfect. This is about a 5mm star. In my handy dandy little bag of tricks, I do a lot of stars. And you know, I don't like doing repeats of the same thing over and over and over again. So I have stars, tiny stars. My tiny star is a 5mm star. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to figure out where it landed. and then come up here. Let me change the color so you can see it. And then, of course, I turn them, and I copy and I paste, and I copy and I paste, and I copy and I paste, and copy and paste, copy and paste. Now, this star is built in 5 segments. Oop, sorry about that. So the stars are built in 5 segments. Not only does it make a better looking star, it also makes it easy to edit. Watch this. I'm going to change this star to a different color. I'm going to break it apart. I'm going to remove that part and that part. I'm going to highlight them and bring them back together. Change that one's color, break it apart, get rid of that one. Oh, I should probably keep part of that one. So we're going to just edit this one. And we need to edit that too. And delete. I said delete. And group it back together. This one's okay. These, I think I can just simply, yeah. Oops, give it back. Just move the nodes so they're not interfering with the satin border as much. All right, be a stubborn node. Be a stubborn node. All right, let's make them all. So, nice. The stars are not too dense in the centers. No, did you see that? Let's blow up one of the stars here. These stars actually have just a standard 0.38 density, but we all know about push and pull, right? So when this star stitches, it's going to stitch here, and then it's going to push down into the center. And this one's going to push into the center, and this one's going to push into the center. By the time all 5 legs have pushed into the center, this center is going to be filled properly. What do you think of that? And you know, just for your own work, if you have something that like stars that you make often, then save it. You know, save it. You can edit, you can copy and paste, you can bring them all back together. I'm going to make all these stars blue, just a light blue, just a light blue. But of course, I'm in the wrong place. Now, light blue, thank you. And I'm going to move them to the top so that they fall behind the border. What else was there in this? We also have in this balloon a background. Now, if our stars are white, should we use a blue for the background? And that's going to be a tatami fill. And I use the center of the border to determine where I'm going to lay the border for my tatami. What you think? Let's go ahead and turn these back white so you can see them. Yay! Some of these look like they need some underlay adjustment. Yeah. I change colors of pieces that I'm editing so that I can get them all back together again. There we go. Ta-da! And of course, these are bigger stars. So I would just take a star and pull the whole thing out. Sure. Just the star, thank you. And then I would edit the star as needed. Now see this one is much larger. So I would actually edit the center of this one because I don't believe it's going to push enough to fill. So I would break it apart and I would just pull it down and pull it in just a bit, just to make sure that it's going to fill properly. And double check the underlay and group. Then I would just, place the star where I need it. And the nice thing about creating your own design, you don't have to follow exactly how it's laid out. It's yours. Who's going to know what graphic you used to create the file? Oh, I suppose I could bring this one back, huh? Come on, where is it? And I'm not going to do it right here, but then I would take all of these and trim them up around my border, right? Um, this one, we're going to leave the stars red, and we're going to make our background white. So again, we follow, and we follow, and we follow, and we follow. We pop that off into the top. And then we're going to do the same thing here, only we're going to put some red stripes in there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay my blue field. Nope, 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 I'm not. I'm going to lay my white first. And I come up into the blue because I need an overlap to prevent gapping. Push and pull, And then I'll lay my blue field. Move those both up. Now I need to do some striping here. So I'm going to hide my white. Oops, wrong one. Hide the white. Pick up the red. And pick up my satin stitch. Looks like we're about out of time, aren't we? Travel down to the next one. Travel. That's Bella telling me she wants down. But it'll be just another minute. She'll be fine. Pull those up to the top. And unhide all. Ta-da! There's my balloons. course, got to put all those stars in there. Oh, here. Before we go, I know we're running a bit long. I want to show you this particular star. Now, this star was gifted to me by another digitizer. Was having problems. There were a bunch of us having problems making teeny tiny stars. This star is only 3 millimeters tall. Your machine doesn't like making 3 millimeter tall satin stitches. But look at this star. Isn't that pretty? So let's look at how he did this. I'm going to turn off the true view. Turn off the true view. And, okay, so let's break it apart. Each one of these is the star for the star, right? So what did he do? He created an underlay. He created an underlay. No, let me do this backwards. It is a very nice tiny star. Okay, so this leg has a center run underlay. Come on, let me have the center run. It won't let me have the center run. That's exactly. Gina was saying earlier. I was talking about the flag and how I didn't like the way it was laying. She was thinking that it would be easier just to mirror the whole design, so I wouldn't have to redo any of the stitch order or anything. And that's exactly what I was thinking. So this star he opened up the density, and I believe that's what it is. Nope, he opened it up to 45. So it's an open density, and he also changed the stitch angle so that it was actually running in this direction rather than this direction. Do you see how that works? Now his is a bit smaller than mine. Let's see if we can make this smaller. Yep, there it is. Yes, it is a satin stitch. It's a satin with a center run underlay, but of course it wouldn't let me pick up the center, so it went to a zigzag, which was fine. And then a 0.45 density. It is technically a satin because as small as it is, let's take this in another direction. I don't know that you can see that. All right. A satin stitch runs the stitches back and forth. Yes, it has a tighter density, but there's no stitches in between. That's what makes a satin stitch a satin stitch. Okay. This one has an underlay, starts here, comes up, and then makes stitches, the zigzag stitches back and forth. Now, of course, mine I need to change the starts and stops. We want it to start here. We want it to stop there. And I didn't follow a diamond. But yeah, it's still technically a satin stitch. If this were a marine, I know it. He's Justin Ormenta is the person that gave me this star. And of course, he's a very, very seasoned commercial digitizer. He works in a commercial shop, does things like this for big companies, not just us little guys. But he's so willing to share with us little guys. Wendy, I sent you an email. Go look for it. Just want to double check. Wendy, we're just getting ready we're just finishing up. Do you want to see my balloons? Here we go. Let me just go back to size to fit. There we are. Oh, let me get rid of all of this. We were talking about making tiny, tiny, tiny stars. Wendy, great minds. Nice balloons, huh? Yep. The only thing this one's missing are the stars. He's a cutie pie. He's a cutie pie. And with that, you're welcome, Diane. And with that, I think it's time that we all go celebrate the 4th. What do you think? Happy 4th. I'm going to put up my end banner here. Oh, Doug's just getting back. Scotch. Oh, he's doing scotch again. Doug, I'm not quite sure what time it is there, but it might be a bit early. Yes, everybody enjoy the holiday. Be careful of the weather. Have a great day, family, friends, and we'll see you all next week. Fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.